Hello, Earth Sign. My name is Jason. Welcome to your How You See Each Other spread for the month of September 2018. I've already shuffled the cards. Just give them a quick cut to get us started. Okay, the energies. I'm going to have two rows here. One row could be you, one row could be your love interest, your partner. We'll see how they play out, or you'll see how they play out. You'll be able to allocate the right energies there as you see them. Okay, so our first line here is how you see each other. Okay. Next one here is what you both want, what each of you wants. This card here is to do with what you believe, how you believe things are playing out with you. Okay, so we have here the World card to start with. So this could be you or could be them. Let's call this first row you, and you'll be able to work it out. They could be interchangeable. Okay, so at the moment you're seeing your partner as fairly well grounded. They have a good sense of who they are, and you're seeing something new in them. So you're seeing that they're offering something, or it's almost like they've turned over a new leaf, and you're seeing them a little bit differently to how you did when you first met, whether that was last year, 5 years ago, or last week. You're learning something new about them all the time, and it's looking like you like the way that they're turning out, or what they're becoming. Their self-assurance or their identity is you're really starting to see them for who they see they are, if that makes sense. Okay. How do they see you? Okay, they've just recently made a judgment about you, Earth sign. So I'm not sure if that's a good judgment or a bad judgment, but it's looking at how you're seeing them. I'm thinking that there's some good mutual attraction here, some mutual admiration. So you're looking at them saying, wow, look, this person's growing. I can see them growing, and I think part of that's because of me. So you're feeling as though you've had a really good influence on how your partner or your love interest is turning out, what you're seeing, the changes you're seeing in them, and you're sort of taking a little bit of credit for how that's playing out there. How they see you here, again, they've decided, they've made some judgments about you, or they've made some decisions about you, about different ways they want to see you. Okay, I'm feeling that that's quite a positive energy there. Okay, so they're learning more about you, or you seem to be learning more about each other here. So that looks like a great start here, how you see each other. There's great energy there. Okay, what you want. Okay, what you want here from your partner is perhaps a little more decision making. You probably like to see them a little more confident, and I think you've told them this. You've told them that you don't want more space, but you'd like to see them have independence, a little more independence from you. So perhaps earlier on you were feeling that they were a little too clingy or a little too needy, or they wanted too much of your time in the way that it's interfering with what you were doing. So there was probably something happening where, well, listen, you had a plan, or you had, say, something you were usually doing on Tuesday night, for example, and they've decided, oh, well, hang on, but I want to do this instead. And you've had to tell them, well, no, we can't do it that way. I've got my space. This is a certain boundary that I'm drawing here. So it looks like that you want to keep those boundaries of, yes, you do want to give to them and you admire them a lot, but you still need to do your own thing. You need to have that boundary there to keep yourself to yourself. And good on you. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And relationships really blossom well when people respect the independence of the other person. Okay, as long as there's no sort of suspicion and worry or jealousy, that kind of thing can really destroy a relationship. Okay, how are they seeing you? Okay, so the Three of Wands here is talks about making plans, okay, moving forward together. So that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing this person, uh, they're looking at you and they're looking forward. They're looking to move forward somewhere with you, and you'll see that this person's actually got a hold of one wand here. So that might be saying that yes, we want to move forward, but I've got these things which are holding me back. So there are some responsibilities here. So perhaps you've been making some plans here, and one of you wants to sort of go and do something quite bold, and I'm feeling this person wants to do that too, but in the back of their mind, they've got this one wand which is holding them back, which is saying, well, yes, I really want to do it, but what about this or that? Might be, oh, they might have to break into some savings to accomplish this, or they might have to, let mum or dad fend for themselves for a while, or it might be about, the teenagers are getting to a certain age now, and that's coming through quite strongly here. So someone wants to make plans and move on with someone else here. This person stated what they want. They've stated their boundaries. This person here wants to sort of go with it, but they're tired. I'm feeling a teenager here not letting these teenagers sort of spread their wings. It's a little, cut the apron strings is what I just got there. So perhaps holding on to this wand is really about cutting the apron strings so you can look further forward. So there are plans to be made here. Someone does they like the idea of moving forward, but they can't let go of this thing that's holding them back. And teenagers is coming through very, very strongly, even though teenagers get to a certain point where they've got to just be given the license and perhaps even a bit of a push out the door to say, listen, you're big enough and old enough now to go out and do your own thing. You don't need me to tie your shoelaces, or you don't need me to take you to your casual job or whatever it is. Get yourself a bike, or it's only a 15-minute walk down the road, or you've got some friends, or you've got some savings now. Get yourself a car and go and start making your own way. So that's the feeling I'm getting there. Okay, so someone wants to, they're interested in taking the plans forward with you, but they're just a bit worried that they're going to lose that security of, and perhaps the identity of being that mother figure or that caring figure, that responsible person. So perhaps hanging on to this wand in this case is not such a good idea. It's holding the relationship back. Okay, let's have a look. Believe. What do you believe about them? Okay, so where is this going? Okay, so the Three of Cups is a bit of a celebration going on here, but we're not sure who we're celebrating or what we're celebrating. If you have a look here, it's not actually clear. Have a look. It's not clear who is holding which cup. Who should be congratulated here about this? Is there another party which needs to come in, or is there, which is part of it? Is there a reliance perhaps on a third person? So even though the relationship is between two people, I'm thinking there's a third person there, maybe a friend or a family member, and if they weren't there, it would sort of change the whole dynamic of the whole relationship. So that might fit in here with this teenager I was talking about before. So I would be looking at this thinking, okay, now is our relationship a standalone relationship? Can we exist just by ourselves as independent people and as a couple, or is there this other person or other situation here which sort of keeps us together, and without this situation it's sort of, we might not have anything really to bind us? So that's an interesting way of looking at the relationship there. Okay, the other person, looking at the relationship here, Seven of Wands. Okay, so the Seven of Wands, this other person perhaps feeling a little defensive. Okay, have a look there. They're feeling defensive. They're feeling as though they do have some moral high ground here, but they're feeling justified in sticking to what they've got. So this person believes, yes, I'm I'm standing my ground. If you want this relationship, you take me, you take my family, you take my teenager, you take this, and my teenagers come first. Well, that could be an admirable way to look at things, but I would just be asking here. Yes, you do believe that you have a solid foundation here, and you believe in what you're doing with looking after your kids, but I'm thinking, well, how old are these teenagers going to be before you stop wiping their backside and making their breakfast for them, and taking to all these places when they really need to start cutting those apron strings, tying their own shoelaces. I know you're not tying their own shoelaces, their shoelaces, but you get the idea. Okay, so let's have a look at it here. You both admire each other and what you've both become. Okay, this is a really good start. I think you've got a really good foundation here for your relationship here. The two of you here, that both of you you are respecting and admiring each other here. One person and the other person, they're looking, saying, well, let's make some plans. Let's have these boundaries, but we still want to go somewhere and do something, be more exciting. We don't want to be too bored. And this person's perhaps saying, oh yes, but I've got to stay here and do this. And I'm thinking that the relationship, or whatever's holding this person back, it's not really a genuine reason to hold yourself back. I think it's things need to move on, and so that's what I'm getting there, is that you want to move on, but something's stopping you, and perhaps what's stopping you doesn't really need to be there anymore, or whoever this person is, it doesn't need to be there anymore. It's outgrown its usefulness. It's outgrown. It's time to let this person or this situation that this person's holding on to, get them to move on somehow. Okay. Again, I keep hearing, cut the apron strings, let them go. They're whatever it is they can do without you. Okay. Over here, we're looking at, well, the Three of Cups is usually a card of celebration. It's a really good feel-good card, but I'm wondering if this relationship could still stand up if it wasn't for this thing that's binding you together. So, for example, is it a common purpose? Do you two do something together which is a really meaningful project, but without this project, would the relationship still stand up? Okay, so one of you is thinking like that. As one of you is asking, maybe is this foundation strong enough without this third thing, this outside influence here? But it looks like it is. Having a look here at the mutual respect and admiration you have for each other, something else will come along again. So perhaps something needs, if this third thing went away, I'm pretty sure it would still be feeling pretty strong. And I'm really thinking you probably would be thinking that way too if you look at it. This person here, the Seven of Wands, okay, they're standing their ground. Yes, I'm not going to let go. I've got the high ground. I've got the moral high ground here. But as I mentioned here, perhaps that needs to be let go. Okay, and then this will this defensive. You won't even need to be defensive. You won't need any ground to stand on here, because you'll be moving forward. You won't be having to say no to anything. You'll be a much freer person. As you let go of this wand here, whatever's holding you back, freedom will come. Okay, so that's the feeling I'm getting from the cards here for the month of September for Earth signs. I hope things work well for you. Have a nice September.